What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is The Passage, Season 1, Episode 7. You are like the sun. All right, y'all, it's late. I'm tired, so let's go ahead and get into it. We start off the episode. Brad and Lila are in the trunk of that car, and they're trying to come up with a plan that's going to get them out of the trunk. So we come in the story into a flashback. We see Brad is at a soccer game. He tells his daughter that his mama won't the mama won't be able to come because she has to do a surgery. And the daughter is upset because she's supposed to host the team dinner, and she said the dinner was really bad the last time or whatever the case may be. So Brad is trying to take control. He said he got a plan. Gilliam and Sykes talking to somebody up in the government, you know, some higher up, and he's asking what's going on. And once again, Sykes is telling them that they need to shut the whole thing down. It's a failure. It's partly her fault. It is what it is. Let's shut it down. Gilliam says, well, maybe they just need to, you know, figure out what's going wrong and fix the problems. You know, there could be some security measures that could be taken. He said like 75% of the staff. Did he say staff? Or 75% of the, you know, the testes or whatever need to be reduced. Some other security measures. And of course, the government guy agrees with him. Then he gives him total power and autonomy over the project. He also tells him that he can be in charge of whether, you know, Lear and Sykes will even stay on and their level of security clearance and so forth and so on. So basically, he have control of everything. So Sykes walks out and she sees Clark in the hallway and they begin to talk. So he basically is telling her, like, girl, something ain't right. This is not right. It's not a good idea. He says he hasn't heard from Brad or Lila. They never came back. He says he's going to go and find them. So Sykes is down for the plan. She like, do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hold it down over here. I handle your business. Meanwhile, Jonas is spending some time with his wife. He's starting to get a little sad because he can see that, you know, she's starting to get sick. So now she's feeling bad. She's describing the pain that she was feeling when they was killing Fanning. He tells her that he tried to kill Fanning. That's why she was feeling that pain. And she was like, you know, he probably pissed about it at this point. He's probably really mad about it. And so they're both basically commiserating on what's about to happen. He's asking her symptoms, and she tells him, and he goes to check her, and when he flashes in the eye, of course, she can't handle it. She don't like the eye pain. Now she's starting to turn. He's telling her the virus is mutating in her body, and he tells her that they're going to fight. Whatever this virus is, they're going to fight it out to the last moment, child. We go back to Brad and Lila in the trunk. He's trying to figure out, you know, a way to get out of his, you know, restraints, and he's getting her to help him do that. And whilst that's going on, we see another flashback of Brad that same day with the daughter, and him and Lila are meeting up. She's giving him a box of decorations to decorate the restaurant. Like I said, his daughter wants it to be very nice. They hug and kiss, and Brad is kind of preoccupied, you can tell. It's probably why he feels so guilty about what happened. He's just telling them to hurry up because they got to get down to the restaurant. Clark goes down there to talk to Amy because he's hoping that Amy can help him find Brad by trying to read his mind like she did when they was trying to find, was it Winston? Whatever his name was, zombie apocalypse homeboy last week. So she tells him that's not how her power works. Basically, it just happens sometimes. She already tried. And then her and Clark have a little bonding moment where he tells her that he's going to find Brad and he's going to bring him back. And she's worried about him, and he's like, don't worry about him. He can take care of himself. And she was like, I know he beat you up. And they have a little cute moment, and he leaves her a bag of potato chips. Right when he leaves the room, Anthony comes to her in the vision. And first, I'm not going to lie, y'all, I thought it was like Fanning disguised as Anthony. But now that I saw the whole episode, I revised my opinion. She's happy to see him because she hasn't seen him in a while. She doesn't know where he is, and she said he feels different, and he says that he is different. He tells her that she's going to have to rely on herself because a storm is coming. You know, something scary is really about to come. Then he asks her, does she want to know where her book is? So Gilliam and this new guy, Martinez, this is the guy with the new security measures, that he goes over him, giving him the rundown of who can do what, and you can decide who had what access code to what, you know, part of the system that you want them to have access to. So then we see Brad and Amy again, back into a flashback, and while they're going through all the motions of putting the things in the car, he realizes that she doesn't have the markers, or after they get to the restaurant, they don't have the markers, and so he says he's going to run across the street to get the markers. Then back to them in the vehicle, he's prepping her basically for what's going to happen. They're getting out of their restraints. He's telling her that the car is going to open. No, this is going to happen. They're going to take me. It's going to happen really fast. And Lila, she's a ride or die chick. So she's like, I'm ready. Just let me know what to do. What I need to do. I need to kick a nigga in the face. What I need to do. Punch somebody and slap somebody. You know, holler at me. Tell me. Let me know. They say they're gonna make it through for Amy. But then we see Jonas talking with his wife, and she basically is like, this whole thing is like unreal, like it's not tethered to reality. And then he tells her that they're working, they're trying to, you know, help her find a cure to whatever is wrong with her. You know, they keep going back and forth. So he rushes off to Psych to try to see if what's happening with her research. And Sykes is like, Amy's blood did nothing to Fannon's blood. You know, that plan didn't work. And so she goes in to try to do something else, and she sees that her access is denied. So Gilliam has blocked her security clearance at a certain level. So she goes in another way, and she gets whatever information she's trying to get, and they come up with some type of scheme, child, antivirals and shit. I don't know all of that, okay? But they came up with a plan, and you know he rushing all over the place talking about he desperate, and he trying to do everything he can to save his wife. Shauna seems to be a little anxious. She's talking to Fannin and telling him basically, listen, I thought you said we was gonna get up out of here. I done did all of this shit, right? I done ate people and child. You talking about we gonna get out of here, and you running behind Elizabeth. You know, he's like, well, I'm not leaving without Elizabeth. And she's like, well, what you gonna do if she don't choose you? And he was like, she gonna choose me. She gonna choose this side. I know she's gonna choose this side. So we gonna see, child, if she actually chose that side. I don't know. He real confident, but I'm like, why, son? She never chose you in life. What make you think she gonna choose you now? I don't know. So Anthony and Amy are in the storeroom or wherever they're at, and he shows her where the book is, and he says, well, you can leave it there, you know, and always come back to find that you know where it is. And so then they start to talk. He says that he can tell that she feels bad about something. So basically they go back and forth and back and forth. We find out that she feels upset about because she feels like she's the reason why her mother died. He's telling him, you know, the dude that's coming for you is pure evil. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you a dry run. So like you need to tell me what he's doing. So basically he's just trying to prepare her for the fact that Fannin is going to come in and use those insecurities and the guilt that she feels about her mother against her to turn her into a monster, right? And so he's saying, tell me what happened so I can help counsel you through this shit, girl, so he won't come and give you the okie doke, okay? So she tells him the story. Basically, her and her mama had got into it because she wanted to go to school, and when she went to the school, her mama never registered her for school, so they wouldn't let her in. So she went home and she got into it with her mom, and so her mama started crying when she told her, I hate you, and she ran out and she left, and that's when she was at the diner. And when she got home, her mom had died. So she thought the reason her mom had died was because, you know, she said she hated her or she made her sad, and that's why she did drugs. But you got to understand that, you know, and Anthony comforts her later on, you know, and helps her figure out that, baby, it wasn't your fault. Your mama was addicted to drugs. So, but she tells that story. Gilliam comes in to visit with Amy and basically giving her that raggedy-ass small talk, child, trying to tiptoe around him and all of that. And so Amy basically just looks at him and is like, yo, you think you running stuff around here, but you ain't running nothing. Like, you don't even know what's going on around you, child. You think you doing something, girl. It's a whole other plot situation going on right here. So he said something else to her. Why? Can you see it? And she just rolls her eyes like, boy, I'm not reading your mind. I ain't got to read your mind to see you not in control. She just told him, listen, bye to you and your mustache. Goodbye, good night. Have a good evening. Buzz off. And what she told him, scram, skedaddle. It was something along them lines. Get the hell out of my face. We have a cross-cut scene. So the scene is Brad getting the markers for his daughter in the store, and we see somebody come into the store to rob the store. Brad turns around. He sees his daughter is coming across the street because he left his wallet. So his daughter was coming to bring him his wallet, and at the same time when the person comes in, he turns around and the daughter is walking in the door at the wrong time. Like, you can see the daughter walking up, so it's like, what do? He gonna shoot you? Or he gonna panic and he gonna turn around and shoot him. It was nothing that he could do in that moment. At the same time, we see him and Lila in the trunk of the car. The car is coming to a stop. They plan is about to jump up, and you know Action Zach jump his ass out the trunk and start beating people up. So he beat everybody up, and Lila just lay back in the trunk, you know, and like, child, this is what he do, girl. He just gonna beat the people up, and I'm just gonna jump out at the end. And that's basically what happened. Now, threw one of the people off the cliff. Now, I ain't see nobody swimming. I ain't see nobody. I ain't see nothing. So I was like, where he at? But the other guy, he tussle with him and fight with him, and he shoot him twice. Brad and Amy are trying to figure out what their next move is going to be, and Brad and Lila are trying to figure out what their next move is going to be, and they're kind of getting a little tiff, you know, a little argument, and at the same time, he's thinking about the last moments, you know, what happened when his daughter got shot, and so he snapped on her and is basically like, so I'm supposed to, you know, apologize for making you safe, and he said something about a pumping station a few miles away. They need to get there on foot and not steal the car because the car have GPS and they can track them, and she's just like, where's the next pumping station? Like, bitch, I ain't got time to to be arguing with you, child. Bye. Then we go to a flashback session of Brad and Lila. They talking to a therapist about the death of their daughter. And basically, the wife wants to go back to work. And Brad is just like, you know, that's a terrible idea. There's no amount of working and, you know, getting back to normal that's going to make what happened go away. And she just said she want to be productive. She want to help people. That's what makes her feel better. She ready to get out the house. She tired of sitting around. She want to be, you know, productive. And she want to be needed and such and so forth and so on. And they asked him the same question, but he pieces out. He like, look, I got shit to do. I ain't got time to be up in here all day. I said what I said. Bye. Okay, good night. We see a scene with him sitting in the car with Clark, and basically he has left the FBI because Clark is like, everybody miss you, and then he give him a folder and it has the information of the guy who shot his daughter. And so he's like, but you couldn't pick him out in the lineup? And he was like, nah, man, that's crazy, right? I couldn't pick him out in the lineup. Wow. And Clark is just like, don't do it. Like, don't kill him. And he's like, it was my daughter. And he was like, it was my goddaughter. Like, go home, hug on your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop this foolishness because you're going to get locked up forever and I'm going to be down the best friend. I was like, oh, y'all best friends. That's what you'll be at best. He was trying to give him a brother man talk. Like, don't do that. Don't do that stupid shit. Like, don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do that. So Clark comes across the scene with the, you know, the car and Brad and the body, you know, and all of that stuff. So he's calling Brad on the walkie-talkie and he's telling him, listen, I want to know if you're okay because I think you might have picked up a tail. Now, in the meantime, Anthony is talking to Amy. He comes to her again, and he apologizes for his behavior. And basically, he's telling her, you know, giving her comfort about the mom. The mom would know that your mom knows that you're sorry. I bet she's probably sorry because she's not here. And, you know, I bet, you know, it's not your fault. Like, you didn't have any control over it. Your mom had an addiction. And, you know, it is what it is. And at the same time that's happening, we also have Brad and Lila walking in the woods, and they're talking about, so it's kind of like a healing thing that's all going on at the same time, because he's saying that, you know, this is going to make up for Amy. And she's like, listen, this is not going to make up for Amy's death, you know. And he's just like, I think I'd have a do-over, basically. And it's my fault that she's dead. I couldn't protect her. I couldn't do anything. The person was right there. And she was like, well, how do you think I feel? You know, I'm the one who forgot the markers. I bought the markers. I had them. I just didn't give them to I didn't put them in the box. I bought them on my lunch break. And what if I had took the surgery? You know, if I had took the surgery, I would have been at the team then, and this whole thing would have played out totally differently. We would have been alive. So if you can't blame me, because he's basically like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And he was like, if you can't blame me, then how can you blame yourself? Like, you have to forgive yourself. Like, at some point, you have to forgive yourself. And he kind of, like, shakes it off and keeps on, or goes to tell her something. He, like, hugs her and bring her close. And then, you know, his homeboy who they threw off the cliff, child. He talking about put your weapons down and get on your knees. I said, oh, Lord, here we go with this shit. Then we back with Amy. Then we back with Amy and Anthony. And basically, she's asking him, you know, is he a monster now? And he's telling her that, listen, I'm trying to be better than Fanning, but, you know, hunger make you do weird things. He's telling her that, listen, he's going to use all your insecurities and guilt. He's going to try to use that against you, and you have to be ready for that. That's why I did that to you. I know it was rough, but that's why I did that. And, she tells him that, you know, she doesn't think she's powerful, or she don't, you know, she wants to leave or something like that. And he tells her, girl, listen, you are way more powerful than you think you are. You can go anywhere you want. I said, wait a minute. I can't wait to see what this powers is going to manifest to be on this young lady, because it sounds like really exciting. Okay? Don't the shit sound exciting as hell? We see Jonas with his wife and Sykes, and, you know, the wife, Sykes is telling him, listen, this is only going to buy you a few more minutes. It's not going to buy you forever. And he tells her, listen, do whatever you got to do. Run all the antivirals, bitch. Okay? Do it. He run out the room. And he sits down with his wife, and he's holding his wife's hand, but his wife wakes up and she's in a delusion with Fanning. Fanning is telling her, listen, all you got to do is say yes. You got to make the choice. Come to our side, girl. It's going to be fabulous, girl. You can forget about your old life. She's like, I don't want to forget about my life. I love my life. He was like, well, you can have a new life. Well, I don't want no new life, bitch. I don't want it. And he was like, you don't have to feel bad about saying no. Aren't you scared of dying? You don't have to die. You can come to our side. So, you know, she closed her eyes, and we don't really know what kind of decision she gonna make. Back into the flashback, and we see Brad stalking somebody, looking, and guess who it is, child? It's the one who done shot his daughter. So he jump out the car, and he walk around the corner, and he blasted on that nigga like 3 times. I said, whoa, I didn't know you was a murderer. And I didn't know you was out here murking niggas. And then we see a car with some headlights pull up on him. I said, well, damn, that was fast. We see that the person in the car is Clark. He jumps out, a crew start cleaning up the body, and he like, look, bro, don't turn yourself in. We gonna be clean up this shit. Don't you even worry about it. We know you stressed out. That's why you out here killing niggas. It's all right. Like, I'm about to help you get yourself together, friend, because you living here out on a limb. He said, I'm about to help you get your life together. I got this project going on. I took this new job. We about to do this shit. It's about to change the world, my nigga. Just jump on board. You know what I'm saying? We about to get you back on track. You know what I'm saying? Back to Brad and Lila. Brad and Lila in the woods. The man told them, get on the ground, get on their knees. So as they about to get shot, we see Clark, you know, come to save the day. Clark comes to save the day. And he tells Brad, hey, look, this shit Project Noah is going left. I wish I had realized this sooner, but I know now. And we're going to go back. We're going to figure a way to break all y'all ass up out of here, child, because we about to go. And they ask about Amy. He said, Amy, good, we good. So they go to the car. He put them in the trunk. Okay, so then we see the flashback, boom. Now we back in the trunk with Amy and Brad. We back in the trunk with Brad and Lila. And so he's concluding the story about how, you know, everything happened. How he got with Clark and how they ended up at this place as we saw the flashbacks. And, you know, that's where they are now. And so Lila basically says, listen, we're going to make it through. You know what I'm saying? We need to stick in there for Amy. We got to do what the hell we got to do. No matter what happened, we stuck like glue. Well, I made a rhyme. I forgot to say, because she said, did it make you feel better after you killed the dude? And he was like, no, it didn't make me feel better. It just lit a fuse inside of me. So that's when I went all over and I was getting all these convicts to sign up for this bullshit, child. You know, so it had sparked a little evil flame inside of himself or whatever. So, like, Project Noah wasn't one. But Amy has changed that, and they got to ride or die for little Amy. Okay, I said, come on, white people. Y'all better love this little black child. Okay, I'm here for it. Gilliam and Martinez talking. They're basically talking to each other about the protocols and, you know, who got what type of clearance and all of that shit and how everything is going. And he like, oh, we can put in 25 more scans over here. Okay, 25,000 more scans over here. Okay, well, you gonna give this to Lear? You know, we can hire a whole new security team. And he like, our whole new medical team. They're like, no, we're gonna keep Lear. We seem confident. We're gonna stick with what we know. Really, to be honest with you, I think it's so much shit going on that they just don't want nobody else to get killed. Like, no new people to come in that don't know what the tea is. You know what I'm saying? Nah, just keep them same niggas here. We good. Old dude asked about Amy, and Gilliam is just like, you know, I got some hope for her. I got high hopes for her. I think she about to turn this whole thing into a miracle, my nigga. We about to be back on top. Okay, Amy gonna take us back to the top. No, is she not? Jonas and Elizabeth is dying, honey. She's out of there. So at this point, she's going to have to make the decision whether she's going to go to the side, one side or the other. So she tells him that she chooses him. She start dying. She tell him she chooses him. She want him to unplug all the shit. And, you know, she loved his life with him. And she going to go on to glory. He lay on her and he tell her he love her. He love her. He just crying. He crying and she just dying, honey. She just died. And then, we see Fanning face kind of, you know, his veins kind of pop all over. Like he said that she's dying too and she did not choose him. That's why I'm like, nigga, she ain't gonna choose you. She gonna die. I die too. Because I'm not gonna be no flesh-eating monster. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? And live in La imaginary land for the rest of my life. I'm ready to go on and see my makeup. Forget that. Just take me out. Okay, just take me out in the first wave because I ain't got time. Last scene of the show is we see Amy basically with her mom, and she's in like this delusion. I already knew it was Fanning because he do shit like that. Throw out people you know, you care about, like the things that are most important to you in your life, and obviously Amy's mother is very important to her. So anywho, or she's in the kitchen with her mother, they hug, her mother tells her she's sorry. It was kind of like if she would have came home and her mama would have been fine, she would have said she was sorry. Mama said, I already forgot about it, girl. I love you. And then there's a knock on the door. Clook, clook, clook. I said, oh shit, here you go. Here you go, here you go. Amy gets up, she goes to answer the door, and guess who it is? It's Fanning. Your boy, he's ready, he's there to collect her damn tooth. But Amy is different, honey, because I seen the people jumping up on the preview for next week, and Amy's eyes is a different color than everybody else. Amy is 2.0. Okay, she ain't gonna play no games. I feel like she about to be tearing these vampire things up next week, all right? So I thought it was a good episode overall. I hope that next week we finally get some action. Action. I'm ready for the action, okay? The suspense is killing me, literally dead, to make me not want to watch this shit no more. But I'm waiting for the action, okay? But overall, it's a pretty decent show. So let me know what you guys think about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I look like a mop head today, y'all. If my hair was not this frizzy this morning, it was like a cute little twist out style, but it's raining and it's cold. So, you know, instead of fighting against my hair, I just went with it. And I was playing with it, and, you know, I was like, ooh, it don't be frizzy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, I don't know. So, yeah. So, anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I will holler at y'all in the next video. Peace.